Welcome to Louisville, Kentucky, home of the 2013 NCAA Men's Basketball Champions, Muhammad Ali, and in 2 weeks' time, the run for the Roses. But tonight, mixed martial arts makes its home here in the Derby City. Former Ultimate Fighter competitor Shamar Bailey takes on an MMA staple over 60-fight veteran Louis Santos. Plus, coming off an impressive Bellator victory, Zach Underwood squares off with Devison Ribeiro in our co-main event. Get your popcorn ready because it's going down in Louisville. Access Fights heads to the cage right now. Ohio River tonight plays host to mixed martial arts action for the Louisville Slugfest XFC. Louisville, Kentucky, where I'm joined as always. Pat, we turn our attention to the main event tonight. Shamar Bailey, who began his mixed martial arts career 11-1, hasn't found that consistency recently in his career. He takes on the highly experienced Louis Santos, 54-8. But it should be said that Santos, in that amazing record, hasn't fought the highest caliber of opponent as perhaps Shamar Bailey has. This one looks to be shaping up to a battle between the stand-up skills of Santos and the wrestling skills of Shamar Bailey.
Well, I think honestly it's kind of a matchup between two guys who are heavy-handed, one being a wrestler and one who's a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Pat, if it does go to ground, who do you favor, the BJJ black belt or the experienced wrestling of Shamar Bailey?
I think it's going to come down to, can Shamar Bailey negate and stay centered up with the great jiu-jitsu expert? If he can keep him locked down a little bit, land some heavy shots, he's got a chance on the ground.
The tail of the tape for our main event, as you see, the experience going the way of Louis Santos. He is also the elder statesman, has the height, the weight is even. The reach goes the way of Shamar Bailey, but the leg reach by 1 inch goes the way of Louis Santos. Let's take a closer look here at Louis Santos. His wife, of course, in his corner tonight, Karina Dam.
And like I said about Louis Santos, very heavy-handed striker and good on the ground. He's got 29 knockouts in those 54 victories and 11 submissions. So this guy can get it done in a lot of ways, and he is a finisher.
Can you see Santos having the arsenal here tonight, Pat, to defeat this man, Shamar Bailey, by knockout?
Well, Shamar Bailey has been clipped before. I've seen him hurt in fights, but he's a very rugged, tough guy, and he's heavy-handed also. If he can mix up his offense between wrestling, get a takedown now and then, and land his punches, keep Santos confused, I think he's got a chance to win this fight.
If Bailey can get Santos on his back, how hard will it be for the Brazilian with Shamar Bailey on top of him?
Well, Shamar Bailey's got a great base. I mean, he was a very good college wrestler. He's got over 100 victories in his college wrestling career, which is not easy to do, so he is good on the ground also.
That is our main event here tonight, set for 3 rounds of action at 170. In our co-main event, Zach Underwood takes on Devison Ribeiro. Underwood did struggle in making weight yesterday, looked very fatigued when we spoke to him in our pre-fight interviews yesterday afternoon. Devison Ribeiro looked a whole lot better. He is the younger of the two. Both men stand 5'9". There is a reach advantage in the hands going the way of the Brazilian Ribeiro. How does this one go down, Pat?
Well, Underwood's a very heavy-handed guy. He likes to brawl a lot. He said he'll either knock somebody out quick or grind it out if he has to. Ribeiro, though, we watched him last time. This guy's spectacular, standing up, very dangerous kid.
Ribeiro did guarantee us yesterday in the minimal English he does speak that he would knock out Underwood here tonight. Let's take a look at the rest of the card at the XFC 23 Louisville Slugfest. Little Brianna Van Buren, she's so short she could model for trophies. Only 4'9", takes on Stephanie Egging, who is on a roll. Joey Teal takes on Eric Mole. That should be a ripper in the flyweight. John Troyer takes on Julio Gallegos. It could be the show stealer. If you've seen Gallegos fight before, you know what an explosive starter he is. And also in the bantamweight division, BJ Ferguson takes on 1-0 Charles Stanford. Pat, take us through the official rules here in Louisville.
I will do that. Tonight's the Kentucky Boxing and Wrestling Authority will be overseeing the XFC. Unified rules are in place. Elbows to a downed opponent are legal. The 10-point must-score system is in place, and all fights are 3 5-minute rounds.
All is in readiness here in Louisville for the Slugfest. And don't forget, you can win a guitar signed by Papa Roach. Download our Access TV Fights app on iTunes or play on the Access TV Fights Facebook page. Pick the winners, earn the guitar. Follow at Access TV Fights and tweet hashtag XFC23 for more details. Also, as we get started here tonight, I want to send our very deepest thoughts out to all of our viewers watching live in Boston. And our thoughts are with you of what has been a tragic week there, Pat.
Yes, it has been, and we're happy to hear that they caught the second suspect.
Indeed. Let's go up now to our ring announcer, Cyrus Fees, to get XFC 23 underway.
Louisville, Kentucky, welcome to XFC 23, Louisville Slugfest. Finally, the XFC Tour has stopped in the Bluegrass State. Ladies and gentlemen, this event is sanctioned by the Kentucky Boxing and Wrestling Authority, overseen by Todd Neal. Your judges tonight, Keith Argabright, Sean Bruckmull, and Amy Evans. Your referee calling all the action will be Gary Copeland. Your doctors cage side will be Dr. Dennis Sparks and Dr. Sarah Kinsey. And your cut man tonight, David Maldonado. Louisville, Kentucky, we are ready to fight. Your first fight, 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. Welcome to the cage, fighting out of the blue corner, Charles the Trinity Stanford.
A man they call the Trinity, Charles Stanford. Decorated amateur, held a 9-2 amateur record, finished 8 opponents by knockout as an amateur. The former NFC featherweight amateur champion had a long camp, some 9 weeks in preparation for this one, particularly working on his wrestling and his jiu-jitsu. If you've seen Stanford fight before, you know he's a man who fights with a lot of emotion and always tries to put on a show. Good striker. Look out for his left hook. A solid low kick as well. The game plan here tonight for Stanford is to stand with BJ Ferguson. Use his striking, use his length. Be first, be fast, stick and move, and use the whole cage.
Yeah, the nice thing, when you see a guy with not a ton of fights professionally, several amateur, you can tell he takes it serious by the shape he comes in, and it's always nice to see that.
Confident young man is Charles Stanford. Did tell us yesterday he believes he will knock BJ Ferguson out tonight. Stanford hailing from Cincinnati, Ohio. Ferguson will have the crowd behind him. He's from right here in Louisville, Kentucky.
And his opponent, making his way to the cage, BJ Ferguson.
A man they call the Boogeyman. You may remember BJ Ferguson. He was a contestant on The Ultimate Fighter 16, was eliminated in the opening round. He's a BJJ brown belt under Nick Albin. His younger brothers, you'll know them, Isaiah and Josh, are also pro fighters. Josh was on The Ultimate Fighter as well. He's a UFC veteran. BJ Ferguson, who trains at Derby City MMA along with his brothers and with Bellator's Brent Weidman. You'll notice he has a bow tie tattooed on his right arm. Interestingly so, when he gets an opponent in a rear naked choke, now if he hooks it on correctly, it'll look like his opponent is wearing the bow tie. Tail of the tape for our opening matchup. Experience all the way to BJ Ferguson. He is 5 years the elder, 4 inches the shorter. Has the weight advantage, missed weight yesterday. Gives up reach in the arms and the legs to Charlie Stanford. Ferguson did have an 8-week camp. Had 3 opponents changed on him during that period. Once again, let's go up to Cyrus Fees.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is in the bantamweight division. It's brought to you by BeAFanTickets.com, the #1 online MMA ticket outlet and the official ticket outlet of the XFC. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first the fighter on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 foot 9 inches tall with a weight of 135 pounds, with a record of 1 win and 0 losses, fighting for G-Force MMA of Cincinnati, Ohio, Charles the Trinity Stanford. And his opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 foot 8 inches tall and an official weight of 140 pounds with a record of 8 wins and 4 losses, fighting for Derby City MMA of Louisville, Kentucky. I give you BJ, the Boogeyman Ferguson. Your referee, Gary Copeland.
All right, fellas, listen up. You both receive your instructions in the back. Expect you to listen to my commands at all time. Have a clean, fair fight. Any questions out of you, Blue? How about you, Red? Let's touch them up, prepare to fight.
Third man in the cage at the sound of the bell, Mini Brock Lesnar, Gary Copeland, and we are set for 3 rounds at 135 to kick off XFC 23, the Louisville Slugfest. Charlie Stanford versus BJ Ferguson. And look at Stanford. Ready to charge out of his corner. They touch gloves and we're underway. Stanford, the type of fighter who will stick and move, get in, land punches and get out. He'll cover a lot of the cage here.
Well, it'll be interesting to see also if this fight goes for a while, how that weight cut affects Ferguson. He was obviously hurting yesterday.
You will see Charlie Stanford switch stance. He's already switched up between orthodox and southpaw once. He goes back to southpaw now. Nice turning right hook out of a southpaw stance there from Stanford, and an outside leg kick just to that common peroneal nerve above the left knee.
Yeah, he's got nice kicks, quick release.
Counter overhand right there from BJ Ferguson. Loops the right hand, backs Charlie against the cage, and Charlie gets caught. Here comes Ferguson with the heavy artillery. This is over surely now. It's over, Gary Copeland. It's good night, Irene. BJ Ferguson, Louisville's own, brings the house down.
Ferguson got him with those uppercuts, kept landing them. Stanford never moved his head to get out of the way of the rest of them.
My word, what a power performance from BJ Ferguson. Absolutely dismantled Charlie Stanford.
Yeah, keeping the pressure on him, got him against the cage. Stanford froze there. The experience of Ferguson coming through here, obviously being in bigger fights, fighting in the UFC. Tough show. Here's the uppercuts. Rocking him, obviously, visibly. Never moving to get out of the way of the rest of them. Just froze against the cage. Can't do that against an experienced guy.
Charlie Stanford just taking an absolute shellacking in that first round. BJ Ferguson moves his record ahead to 9-4. And the man they call the Boogeyman proved a nightmare for Charlie Stanford. Let's go to Cyrus Fees to make it all official.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Copeland stops his fight at 59 seconds into the first round with your winner by TKO due to strikes, BJ, the Boogeyman Ferguson.
So 9-4, now the record of BJ Ferguson. As a lady in the crowd behind us goes up to absolute rocker. She is in for a good night. Congratulations, BJ Ferguson.
Still ahead.
Santos, good head kick, big head kick. Porco wobble. He is hurt, looking to finish in the closing seconds of this fight.
Oh!
Tonight, what I have in store for Luis Santos is a high-paced fight. You know, coming off 2 losses, I'm sure he's going to want to try to get off to a fast start, and I'm ready for that. If things don't go his way, then I'm ready to keep that pace sustained until the fight's over with.
É muito difícil dizer aonde a luta vai se desenrolar, mas eu pretendo estar totalmente no meu plano de jogo e para que a luta seja mais rápida possível, para que eu obtenha a vitória mais rápida possível.
Shamar Bailey and Luis Santos go to war in our main event. Also, Zach Underwood and Davison Ribeiro throw down in a co-main event you won't want to miss. XFC 23, Louisville Slugfest on XSTV. We'll be right back.
I am a firefighter back home in Indianapolis, Indiana. I've been doing that for 6 years now, and I couldn't ask for a better job. Gives me the rush to going into buildings on fire as well as helping people, and also gives me time off to train in between shifts. So I'm very blessed to have that as a job. There are a lot of comparisons. You don't have time to sit around and really over-contemplate the task that's in front of you. You just have to react and rely on your training, and a lot is at stake. A lot of people are dependent on you to do your job right. And so I enjoy that aspect of the fire department as well as MMA. Tonight in the stands, I'll have with me, cheering for me, a 4th grader by the name of Wallace Stovall Jr. From Indianapolis, Indiana. We call him Junior, and he is receiving chemo treatments for cancer that he's had for the past 6 months here in Louisville.
You have to go to treatments, chemo on every other Friday, and you have to take tests and scans. I was with my wrestling coach, and we went to where he works at the fire station, and we got to ride in a fire truck, and we was playing the game and got to eat.
Junior, being a young wrestler, after his 3rd chemo treatment, the very next day, he had the wrestling state championship for his age group and took 2nd. Just seeing the strength of such a young individual, and he inspires me to do well in the cage and in life, so I'm very excited to have him in the stands.
Every other weekend I go to wrestle, and I practice my shots, takedowns, and headlocks. Wrestling helps me to keep fighting.
Fantastic story, and there he is, Wallace Stovall Jr. in the audience tonight supporting Shamar Bailey. Good to have you here, Wallace Stovall Jr. Junior, as they call him. Let's go up once again to Cyrus Fees to keep our action rolling.
How's it going, guys?
Ladies and gentlemen, the next 3 rounds are in the XFC middleweight division. Please welcome to the cage, fighting out of the blue corner, Julio Gallegos.
I thought I want to get out of here. Oh, Julio.
If you've seen him fight before, you will know how explosive he is. Julio Gallegos has never been the distance. His last 7 fights have ended in the very first round. Comes in on a 2-fight winning streak. 6-4 record. But my word, are there some crazy stoppages in those 10 fights. A man who is very charitable, devotes a lot of time to sick children, including running his own charity, the GJG Foundation. Very sad, tragic history to the family background of Gallegos. His father shot his mother, and then himself in front of Julio Gallegos when he was just 14 years old. He's overcome tremendous adversity to be in the position he is, and uses that position, as I said, to help out quite a lot of people, does Julio Gallegos. His 7th pro appearance in the XFC for Gallegos.
And now his opponent making his way to the cage, John Troyer.
John Troyer who just came off a fight 3 weeks ago, didn't get injured, so he jumped straight back into the cage. He came off a loss last time out and said he wanted to rebound here tonight by getting straight back into action. The game plan against Gallegos is to keep the fight on the feet. He says combinations will be the key. He's been drilling the combinations, getting it embedded into his muscle memory. Look out particularly for the body shot followed by a rear leg round kick combination. In talking to John Troyer, says he's not fazed by the quick starts of Julio Gallegos. Says he actually enjoys fighting fast-starting opponents. The tail of the tape, experience goes away of Troyer. He is 3 years the younger, has the height over Gallegos, has the weight over Gallegos, has quite a reach advantage in both the arms and the legs. Troyer in the cage, Gallegos in the cage. Once again up to Cyrus Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is brought to you by Throat Punch Industries, reminding you to take life by the throat. Visit throatpunchind.com. Introducing first the fighter on my right. Fighting out of the blue corner, he stands 5 foot 10 inches tall with an official weight of 184 pounds. With an official record of 6 wins and 3 losses. Fighting for Reaction MMA and George Gurgel of Lexington, Kentucky. Welcome, Julio Gallegos. And his opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 6 foot tall with an official weight of 185 pounds. With a professional record, 14 wins, 7 losses. Training out of Louisville MMA of Louisville, Kentucky. Welcome, John Troyer. Your referee, Gary Copeland.
Come on, Red. Bring it over here. All right, listen up, fighters. You both receive your instructions in the back. Expect you to listen to my commands at all time. Have a clean, fair fight. Any questions out of you, Blue? How about you, Red? Let's touch them up, prepare to fight.
Gary Copeland, final instructions for Gallegos versus Troyer. The closing odds on this one, thanks to Nick Kalikas. Follow him on Twitter at Fight Odds. John Troyer comes in the favorite, minus 245. The comeback on Gallegos at plus 175. We are ready for 3 rounds of action. They touch gloves. Will it be another fast and a hard start here from Gallegos? Troyer did tell us yesterday he wants to try and draw Gallegos into deep water, and he doesn't mind taking a beating in the first round to be able to do that. Got to watch out for the right hand of Gallegos. These sometimes awkward angles that Gallegos throws his hands from. And there you see him turning in the knuckles nicely on that right. Troyer looking for a counter. Gallegos with a short left hook. Straight left. Straight cross from Gallegos. Troyer tried to put him into the Muay Thai clinch. Gallegos won't back up, however. There's the Thai clinch to the knees to the diaphragm.
Yeah, great knees there. And these guys are just, there's not a lot of technique there. They're just winging it.
They both expended quite some energy inside of the opening 45 seconds here. Gallegos backs Troyer up against the cage for the first time. There's an overhook on the right arm here of Gallegos, that being the true danger arm of Gallegos. Troyer's going to try and slow this fight down. Gallegos doesn't want to slow down. Smack bang between the eyes with another straight right cross.
Nice job breaking free and throwing.
Another cross from Gallegos. Finds the range again with the cross as Gallegos. Mouth guard is gone on Troyer. Here comes Gallegos. Look at Julio Gallegos go. And a Muay Thai clinch from Troyer. Throws the meet and greet knees. And Gallegos comes forward again. 3-2 combination. Troyer's hurt now. Can Gallegos finish him?
Gallegos doing a great job with that lead uppercut and then the overhand right. Got hurt with that knee, though.
Troyer rallies back. Muay Thai clinch and a high knee from Troyer. And another one. Gallegos just misses with a glancing right. There's a cut under the left eye of Troyer.
The referee just handed Troyer his mouthpiece and said, hey, move your head while you're putting this thing in, would you?
Right hand again from Gallegos. Still plenty of time remaining here in the first. He's had Troyer on rubber legs a few times.
Beautiful left hook, man.
Gallegos backs him up with another cross. And once more. Julio Gallegos, more crosses than the Vatican here in the first. Halfway through the round, what does Troyer need to do, Pat, to try and turn the tide?
Quit slugging with the heavy-handed Gallegos. He's got to get this fight to the ground. He's got more experience. He's got 11 more fights. He's won the hook and shoot tournament, which is one of the oldest organizations in the business. He's been around. He's got to fight smart here.
Troyer no slouch in finishing opponents in the first round himself. He won an 8-man tournament, and the Bodog hook and shoot in one night. Finished all 3 fights by first round stoppage. Jab 2, no muster behind the punches here from Troyer. Gallegos has slowed down, Pat.
Yeah, but Troyer not moving his feet very well when he's punching. He threw like 5 punches in a row, missed every one of them. Gallegos landed hard.
Left hook from Gallegos, walks into a front kick.
See Gallegos moving his feet a lot better, able to get out of the way of most of the stuff and explode in real well with that left hook.
If it goes to ground, Gallegos does have some wrestling background. Actually wrestled and played football at Denville High School. A man who made it into the XFC by first attending the XFC Open Tryouts, a path via which many a fighter here in the XFC has come through. Left hook from Gallegos, takes a glancing right hand from Troyer. And again, now Troyer backs up Gallegos. Puts on the tie clinch, and Gallegos tries to put him against the fence. Does so now.
Yeah, twice now Gallegos has gotten clipped with that knee and gotten rocked a little bit.
Crazy first round of action here. 50 seconds remaining, first of 3. All part of XFC 23, the Louisville Slugfest.
Looks like that knee might have, if I am not mistaken, looks like there's a hole in Gallegos' lower lip, like he put his teeth through it from that knee.
A beautiful mental image there for you from Pat Miletich.
That's not fun.
Hole in the lip, cut under the left eye on Troyer. Good jab too. And Gallegos again, nice 1-2, bread and butter combination. And grunting behind every technique. Now Troyer turns him around.
Good chin on these guys, man. They are landing some bombs.
Single-handed clinch here from Troyer. Uppercut from Gallegos, powers his way out of that clinch. One final salvo being the right hand from Gallegos. What a round!
Great round by both those guys. A lot of action and a lot of heart. Gallegos throwing the left uppercut and the overhand right a lot here. 45-degree angle up, 45-degree angle down. Mouthpiece flew out there, so Gary Copeland handed it. He doesn't even stop the action, just gives him his mouthpiece. He didn't want to see it slow down. And Troyer coming back almost every time when he was getting flurried on, landing that knee, hurting Gallegos and putting his teeth through his lower lip. These boys are going at it.
10-9 Gallegos, says Pat Miletich after one round. Pat, let's play super coach for a moment. If you're in the corner of Troyer, what are you telling him to do?
You know, maybe move his head a little bit more, a little better defense, and possibly try and get this fight to the ground. But obviously Gallegos hasn't put him away yet. Losing on points, gonna have to stay more active on his feet if he's gonna win.
Give me a towel, give me a towel. Give me a towel.
Referee Gary Copeland's gonna wipe down the canvas. There's excess water in both Gallegos and Troyer's corner. Troyer is actually pointing to it there. And his corner man comes in. Does a bit of spring cleaning, and we are ready to get underway in the second round. It was a slugfest in the first.
Round 2, you ready, Red? Let's fight.
Gallegos comes bounding out of his corner.
Yeah, Gallegos seems in better shape than we've seen him in the past, which is a good thing because he's got a lot of power. If he can keep that up for an entire 3 rounds, pretty scary kid.
Much wider stance here on Gallegos. He really likes to plant his feet and try and power through, particularly with that right hand. I do like how he sets it up with the jab, though. And there's a dropping lead hand to the midsection. Troyer's got to protect that left eye. He's ducking the chin here, looking through the brow, which is a smart ploy against Gallegos. Just gets out of the way of the jab-2 combination. Looping punches from Troyer, but not finding range.
His feet just aren't quite as quick as Gallegos.
Gallegos lifting his head when he threw the jab, and that's danger for a counter punch like that. The overhand right is perfect counter punch when his head's propped up.
Didn't take him long to get wound back up this round, did it?
Looking for a step over elbow there. Eats a left hand as Troyer circles off to his right. Muay Thai clinch again, needs to try and keep it locked on, and a wild uppercut almost took out the ring lights. Now Troyer in trouble, high knee! Here comes Gallegos. Clubs him with the right. Troyer on the back foot and looking sapped of energy. If Gallegos is smart here and picks his shots, he may be able to drop it.
Yeah, he's hurting him right now.
There he does with a high knee. It's a matter of time. It's good night, Irene. Julio Gallegos pounds out Troyer, and my word, there is a huge hematoma now under the right eye of Troyer.
You know, and you were mentioning Gallegos' jab. He launches himself into that jab, almost like he's stepping downhill off a pitcher's mound. Watch him launch into that. Lands the knee perfectly. Troyer gave him the angle, turned sideways, which you never want to do. Knee was wide open. Gallegos landed it and put him down and finished on the ground. This kid's tough, hard-nosed guy.
They are working an end swell under the right eye of Troyer in the cage at the moment.
Also have to hand it to Troyer. He came here to fight.
Tough boy. Troyer, as they go to work, when they remove that end swell, you'll see it looks like he's growing a third cheek. Gallegos just comes over to our commentary position and says, "How was that, boss? Was I banging?" And we gave him a thumbs up.
He asked if it was better this time.
Yeah, he was.
Absolutely.
It really was. All right, Cyrus Fees entered into the history books.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is stopped by Gary Copeland at 141 in the second round. With your winner by TKO, to the strikes, Julio Gallegos.
Pounding it out. Second round goes 7-4. Folks, every Friday night before your live fights on Access TV, there's only one show you should be watching. The finest mixed martial arts coverage in the world. The #1 MMA news show on TV is Inside MMA. Make sure you join your hosts, Kenny Rice and El Guapo Basrutin, every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Inside MMA, your #1 MMA news show every Friday night.
Don't go anywhere. There's a lot more Extreme Fighting Championship action when Access Fights returns.
Absolutely loving it. We are loving XFC 23, the Louisville Slugfest so far. We have not seen one fight go the distance. A first round stoppage, a second round stoppage. Let's keep the Slugfests a-rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next fight is 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Making his way to the cage, Eric Mell.
Eric Mell, who has finished every opponent as a pro by first round submission in a total time of 3 minutes 49. And yes, that is Felice Herrig behind him, looking quite resplendent in her body-hugging red dress here tonight. Eric Mell's last 5 fights, take a look at them here, last 3 I should say. He's caught his opponents with an armbar, a rear naked choke, and a triangle. Had an extensive 10-week camp focused on speed and striking, particularly on his hands. He worked predominantly on his jab and how to use his reach effectively here tonight against Joey Deal. A man who somehow manages to fit a blossoming mixed martial arts career into working full-time as a carpenter 40 hours a week, also fathering 2 kids, an 18-month-old boy and a 5-year-old daughter. He says he can exploit Joey Deal on the ground here tonight. Says in the stand-up, Joey stands very flat-footed, so he's wide open to getting hit. Eric Mell, undefeated in the cage.
And now making his way to the cage, fighting out of the red corner, Joey the Real Deal.
Joey Deal, who hails out of Team Curran, which is why he has Felice Herring here supporting him tonight in the audience. Now he has finished his opponent in round 1 in each of his wins. One with a rear naked choke, one with punches in the stand-up. Suffered one of the most grisly cuts in mixed martial arts history. Don't know if you ever saw it. If you didn't, Google it if you have the stomach for it. It was his win over Josh Epps at XFO 41. The tail of the tape for this contest. Undefeated Eric Mal takes on 3 and 4 Joey Deal. 3 years the elder is Mal. 5 inches the taller. Also has the reach in the arms and in the legs. Joey Deal, good movement in the stand-up, solid leg kicker, speed in his hands. This could be the stand-up battle.
And now 3 rounds in the flyweight division, brought to you by the XFC Open Fighter Tryouts, coming in the fall to the Northeast. Details at officialxfc.com. Introducing first, the fighter on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5'9" with an official weight of 124.8 pounds, with an undefeated record of 3 wins, 0 losses. Fighting out of Alliance Mixed Martial Arts of Cincinnati, Ohio, Eric Mal. And his opponent standing across the cage in the red corner. He stands 5'5" tall with an official weight of 124.6 pounds. His official record, 3 wins and 4 losses. Fighting for Team Curran of Algonquin, Illinois, Joey the Real Deal. Your referee, Gary Copeland.
All right, bring it in. All right, listen up, fighters. You both receive your instructions in the back. Expect you to listen to my commands at all time. Have a clean, fair fight. Any questions out of you, Blue? How about you, Red? Let's touch them up, prepare to fight.
You can see the towering difference there in the height of Eric Mal over Joey Deal. Mal comes in the favourite at -380. We come back on the Real Deal at +260. Michael Chavello, Pat Miletich with you. Third man in the cage, Gary Copeland, all part of XFC 23, the Louisville Slugfest. How will Deal get inside of the reach of Mal? That's 70.5-inch reach versus 67 of Deal.
Really important to use feints and fakes to do that, and with head movement and correct head movement, the reach really doesn't matter.
Jab from Mal, front kick from Mal, then goes high. He has leg reach as well, 38 inches Eric Mal, 35 inches Joey Deal. High knee.
Cut him.
Double leg here from Mal, switches to a single now.
Got that quarter pry. Trying to turn him over. Good pry. Put it back on him.
A lot of pressure being exerted here by Eric Mal, looking to put Deal on his back. Blood streaming out of the cut on Mal. We'll try and get a good look at it when he pops his head up.
Deal doing a great job of getting back to his feet there.
Deal is back to his feet, glances towards his corner, gets taken down. Can Mal take the back? No.
Deal had that whizzer and tried to roll through, just couldn't get it done. Mal doing a good job of posting up and stopping it.
Joey Deal just getting covered with the blood here of Eric Mal. It is dripping a beauty.
Yeah, he got a pumper with that knee.
Mal's trying to curb the bleeding himself. You see him putting the hand over the cut. Referee Gary Copeland keeping a close eye on it now.
If he gets put in a guillotine, it's not going to help.
We're not even halfway through this opening round, set for 3. Already Eric Mal bloodied up, courtesy of a knee early in the round from Joey Deal just before the takedown. High guard now from the real Joey Deal.
And staying very active underneath. He's looking for a lot of stuff. Wanting to get the elbows landed, trying to get that cut open more. You can see him, yeah, there it is.
Well, somebody call the Red Cross because Eric Mal has a huge donation to make here. Guillotine on Mal. Close guard of Deal. Relaxed here is Joey Deal. Needs a win to even up his record. Comes in 3-4. Mal undefeated 3-0.
Mel not quite sure what to do here. He doesn't want to lift up and get elbowed anymore.
Take another elbow to that cut, and this one will be well and truly over. Throws up that high guard again, does Joey Deal. Now opens the guard. Mel back to his feet, trying for the takedown. Double leg.
And you know what? He lifted right through that hook on his leg. Deal had that foot hooked on the inside of Mel's thigh, trying to stop the leverage, but Mel still powered through it.
Speaking to Felice Herrig earlier on about her fighter Joey Deal, she said, don't be fooled by his record. He's very tenacious, always throws down hard with all the sparring partners in the gym. At Team Curran out of Illinois, where Joey Deal says, I love being a fighter there. I get to train with my heroes every day.
And something to be said for what she mentioned also. Deal, young guy, fighting guys that are physically more mature, older guys. Using that foot again, hooking on that leg. Causing Mel some problems.
Under 90 seconds remains in the first round. Guard here now on his back is Eric Mel.
You wonder if that choke was getting tight where he just decided to bail. It was weird. He just fell down.
I think the corner crew are going to go to work on the cut. It's right on the hairline, it looks like, of Eric Mel. Not as bleeding as much as it was 2 minutes ago, but still you can see the traces of Mel's blood just staining this canvas here. Could turn this into an omoplata, a shoulder lock on the right shoulder. Go from there to a gogoplata.
Whenever somebody goes to that position on you when they're in the guard, you got to get your right arm out of that hole. You got to get it on their chest and stay centered up. His arm is down to the side, which can get you in a lot of trouble there.
Downward elbows from Mel. Maybe thinking to himself, I'm going to open up a cut on you, Joey Deal. Repay the favor.
Yeah,
give you a money box.
Turnabout's fair play. Money box.
Throws up the legs, does Mel. Nothing waiting for him, though. And you see that tenacity once again of Joey Deal. It's been a tremendous night of action here at XFC. 2 fights deep. This is the third of the night. We've seen a second round stoppage by Gallegos, a first round poundage in our opening fight by BJ Ferguson over Charlie Stanford. We go to the towels at the end of the first.
Deal doing a good job in this round. Initially stopping that takedown, getting his feet back quick, wait until the feet come, or the hands come off the canvas, landing that knee, slice that head open on Mel. There it is again, misses the takedown. Knee slices right up the side of the head, puts the laceration on him. That's why it's so important to set up your takedowns with punches.
The corner crew going to work on Mel. Meanwhile, very relaxed in the corner of Deal, and there she is, Felice Herrig, former XFC fighter, supporting her stablemate, Joey the Real Deal, here tonight. Good to have Felice, and of course her little sock puppet that she never leaves home without, has its own Twitter account.
Interesting corner outfit.
I'm not complaining, Pat, are you? Second round of action.
Back up. Back up.
Looks like they have stemmed the bleeding momentarily from that cut on Mel. It, of course, is a target now that Deal could go after. Inside leg kick from Deal. Overhand right, moves into a single leg, gets the takedown, does Mel, puts Deal on his back.
Ooh, went to the wrong side. Went to the wrong side, though. Can get in trouble when you're on that side.
Back inside guard. Is he stuck here? He is! Mel taps out. Deal gets the victory. And that screaming you can hear is a very happy Felice Herrig.
Mel made that bad mistake right at the beginning of that choke. Here it is again. He moved to the wrong side of the body. You want to move to the opposite side that your head's on to protect your neck with your opponent's body, and he didn't do it. Went the wrong direction right off the bat. Got himself stuck on the wrong side of the body initially and allowed Deal to tighten that choke up and then finish. One mistake and you're done in this sport.
Felice Herrig goes into meltdown. Absolutely wrapped. She was full of praise for Joey Dill, as I said earlier. She said, ignore the record. He is tenacious, and he proved so here tonight. Fantastic submission, evens up his record, 4-4 now, Joey Dill. Let's go up to Cyrus Fees to make it all official.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Copeland stops his fight at 31 seconds into the second round with your winner by tap out due to guillotine choke, Joey the Real Dill.
4-4, the record of Joey Dill. Folks, did you choose him on your iPad app tonight? If you didn't, slap yourself repeatedly with a wet fish. If you haven't downloaded the app, do so now. Play along. You can vote for who you think will win. There are fantastic prizes up for grabs, including, of course, that signed Papa Roach guitar. Make sure you download it now from the iTunes Store, the Access TV Fight Companion app. Let's park our peepers backstage for a moment now. There's the man they call Sapo, Luis Santos, 54-8. His wife, Karina Dam, in his corner tonight, and the team from America's top team as he gets set to take on Shamar Bailey, 15-8 from Indianapolis, the firefighter who is fighting for Wallace Duval Jr. in his corner in the crowd tonight. Our main event should be a ripper.
Up next, it's Ladies' Night in the Derby City. Brianna Van Buren and Stephanie Egging take center stage. XFC 23, Louisville Slugfest on Access TV. We'll be back in a moment.
That was Papa Roach helping us out with a little of tonight's action. For tour information, visit www.paparoach.com. And don't forget, folks, if you're not playing the Access TV Fights app, you need to be. You can win a guitar signed by Papa Roach. It's not too late to pick the winners of the fight, so download or play on our Facebook page right now. Okay, let's keep this awesome action rolling. We move into our ladies' bout between the pint-sized Brianna Van Buren and Stephanie Egging, up to Cyrus Fees.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next fight is your feature bout of the evening in the women's strawweight division. This fight is brought to you by American Knockout Wear. Please welcome to the cage, fighting out of the blue corner, Brianna the Bull Van Buren.
Only 19 years old. From Gilroy, California, the garlic capital of the world, Brianna Van Buren the Bull, a nickname given to her by her grandfather when she was just a kid. A blue belt in BJJ, she trains under Anthony Ant-Dog Figueroa at Ant-Dog's MMA. Also spent some time training in Las Vegas with Kim Couture. Is also trained in California with Cyborg Christine Santos. Holds a red belt in Sanshu. In her pro debut, and a first-round knockout of Charlene Galena in October. Knocked her out with a beautiful combination. It was a front kick to the face, followed by a knee to the face. Van Buren gives up 8 inches in height to Egging here tonight, Pat. Play super coach. How does she overcome it?
Well, she's going to have to use her kicks, hopefully to keep Egging off balance. When Egging likes to use that jab, she needs to chop that lead leg or lead leg front kick or rib cage when she throws her jab, because she'll expose it, get inside, use her sand chow throws, try and get this fight to the ground and go for a finish.
Expect the unexpected from Van Buren. She may just surprise us and throw some jumping lead hooks and jumping roundhouse kicks. She says, and this was interesting, she plans to make Stephanie Egging's boxing her strength, meaning she's going to throw a lot of fakes, keep Egging guessing, explode in, land, and then get out of range.
Yeah, easier said than done. I'd say get in and stay in.
And now welcome her opponent to the cage, fighting out of the red corner, Stephanie Snowflake Egging.
The snowflake Stephanie Eggink, a succulent boxer, makes her way to the cage, and earlier on tonight backstage, she caught up with Pat Miletich.
All right, I'm here with Stephanie Eggink before her fight tonight. Now, in your last fight you had, you basically stood up the whole time and showed the world that you're a great boxer, which everybody knew that coming into the fight. Is there any chance we're going to see some good grappling out of you tonight?
Yeah, probably, because I have a feeling she's probably going to want to take it to the ground. You can tell I'm a lot taller than her, so if she tries to box me, it will be very stupid of her. So if she goes to the ground, I'm sure there's going to be a great grapple competition, but I'll come out on top there too. So.
Okay, good. And obviously, with your boxing background, pretty extensive. Your transition to MMA, how do you feel about the difference between the two sports, and which one do you enjoy more?
I love MMA more for the diversity of the sport. You know, you can train something new every single day. But I love classic boxing. I love clean boxing. You know, good footwork and everything. You don't see that a lot in MMA. You're seeing it a little bit more in the female world. It's definitely developing, but I don't know. I don't know which one I like more. Boxing's my roots, so maybe I'll end up back there someday.
The sweet science, Stephanie Eggink.
The tail of the tape for this matchup, and look at the difference there. You go straight to that reach in both the arms and the legs. You go straight to that height differential, 6-inch reach in the arms, going the way of Eggink, some 5.5 inches in the legs. We are set for action once again. Van Buren versus Stephanie Eggink.
Ladies and gentlemen, now 3 5-minute rounds in the women's strawweight division. This bout brought to you by American Knockout Wear. For more, visit them at akowear.com. Introducing first, the fighter on my right. Fighting out of the blue corner, she stands 4'11" tall with an official weight of 116 pounds. Her record is 1 win and 0 losses. Fighting out of Antogs MMA of Gilroy, California, Brianna the Bull Van Buren. And her opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. She stands 5'8" tall with an official weight of 116 pounds. With an official record, 2 wins and 1 loss. Fighting for Gracie and Next Edge of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I give you Stephanie Snowflake Eggink. Your referee, Gary Copeland.
Been some late money on Brianna Van Buren, I should mention. She opened up the bookmakers' odds today at +110. Eggink was -150. The closing odds on this one, Van Buren -125, Eggink -115. 19 years old, 4'11". She could milk a cow standing up. Can she get inside the jab of Stephanie Eggink?
That's just wrong.
Michael Chavello, Pat Miletich with you. Outside leg kick from Van Buren.
This girl may surprise us, buddy.
She is tenacious. Takedown. Handle Eggink early, goes inside the guard. Now Eggink no slouch on the floor. She is a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. High guard here from Eggink.
See if she can get an armbar on those short arms of Van Buren, though. Trying to stuff it for a triangle. You can see her working on it. There, she's trying to push that arm through.
Eggink, a former member of the US national boxing team. Working her guard game quite nicely at the moment. Not allowing any posture up here from Van Buren. Tying up the hands, pulling down on the back of the head, continually working that guard higher and higher to see if she can catch her in something, Pat.
Yeah, she's got a left leg on what we call the ledge of the shoulder. Now pulling that across. You do not want their legs up there that high. They can get an angle easily, go to an armbar, triangle chokes. A lot of things can happen from there.
In her corner, in Victor bantamweight, Shayna Baszler, giving instructions to Stephanie Eggink.
Van Buren trying to dig back in. She does not want to lift her head here and let her pass the leg.
Apparently we have a bet between Baszler and Eggink tonight. If Eggink gets a Cobra twist, Baszler owes her $500. Looks like it's going to be an armbar instead, however. Oh, look at the power from the Bull! Slams her way out! How do you do? Van Buren.
She's got to keep that foot in there. Can't let that right foot get out of there. That triangle will get started if she does. She's smart. Trying to shut it down.
Brianna Van Buren looking composed here in the first round. Strong little lady. Actually replaced Angela Magana when Magana was involved in a rollover car accident. We wish Magana all the very best. Feet on hips here from Eggink. Trying to get the right hand free is Van Buren.
Eggink so far being smart, staying out of those submissions. Got to push on that knee and pass that guard. Not able to do it yet. There she's starting to. Toe catching on the shorts.
Van Buren back to her feet. Up kicks here from Eggink. Eggink's getting her legs slung. That's good work from Van Buren.
Sanchow again coming through. She's got good kicks.
Eggink looking for a way back to her feet so she can work the boxing prowess. Now gets the chance. Van Buren pressuring her against the cage, just barreling in. And this is what Eggink expected from Van Buren. She says, I know she's going to try and bulldog me. Going to be very rough and rumble.
Eggink throwing that leg up across her back. Was trying to stuff the wrist, maybe go to a flying triangle. Now Van Buren got wrist control, smart on her part.
Eggink, who represented the US in boxing at the 2007 Pan Am Games in Brazil.
Looking for that guillotine, trying to reach up over the head.
Hooks the left leg of Van Buren. Van Buren's strength for a little lady.
Yeah.
Hooks the leg again here. Elbow to the thigh from Van Buren. Season opening, goes for it. I like the work. Staying busy here.
She's looking for that choke, I'm telling you. Wanted to throw that left leg up.
Shayna Baszler with the instructions.
Here it comes. She's trapping that arm so she can slip that left leg up and over.
Under a minute remaining here in the first round.
Van Buren needs to lock her hands here. She had it for a second.
The bull, Brianna Van Buren, keeping Eggink against the cage here. And referee Gary Copeland separates both ladies. We're back to center cage. A chance of the jabs here of Eggink. Jab 2 it is. Straight across the cage. Van Buren ties her up. Pushes her against the fence.
Got going a little too far forward that time. Committed too much on her punches, and Van Buren able to cover the gap again.
Overhooking the right arm of Van Buren. Throws a knee, does Van Buren.
Nice
to
job.
no avail.
Yep, tried to snap the head down, and then Eggink lifted her head and landed the knee. Nice.
End of the first round. Eggink goes to her corner. Hell of a nice lady, Stephanie Eggink, an avid hunter as well. She says she hunts anything, lives in South Dakota, hunts a lot of squirrels in her backyard. She's a big weapons enthusiast. She's actually trained in knife fighting for 3 years. Her and Shayna Baszler just built an AR-15. They own 4 9mm, a Glock, a shotgun, and her favorite knife, the K-bar.
Not really a house you want to break into.
Watch she's trying to take you back. So keep that under hook.
10-9 Van Buren after the first round.
Yeah, she did a good job. Van Buren kept the pressure on her.
Okay, Pat, play super coach to Stephanie Eggink for this second round.
Obviously, use her reach. Use the jab a lot. Don't overcommit on the cross and let her cover the gap.
Round 2, you ready, Blue? Round 2, you ready, Red? Let's fight.
The bull taking the first on Pat's scorecard. Eggink faking off the back leg. Good outside leg kick from Van Buren. She's found her quite a few times in the opening round, and she opened up the first with it, opens the second with it.
Does a good job getting out of the way of those punches.
Moving on the back foot there, Eggink, but not throwing the jab while backing up, allows Van Buren to come on the inside, crack a knee to the top of the right thigh. Egging momentarily put a knee guard on as she has that left arm overhooked. There's the knees again off the left leg from Brianna Van Buren. Egging tries to turn her.
Van Buren having none of
little
that.
girl.
Yeah.
Only a teenager.
Van Buren's been fighting very smart this whole fight, covering the gap, getting in tight, negating that reach of Egging, making her wrestle with her.
A real tussle here. High knee from Egging.
Van Buren got to get that underhook back. That's what's beating her right now. Can't reach up and grab the head like that. Got to get the underhook.
You can hear Shayna Baszler shouting for Egging to throw the knees. Egging, who is nicknamed Snowflake because she is white and unique. She has tattoos, about 7 snowflake tattoos over her body, as well as a beautiful Japanese cherry blossom.
Egging doing a good job of taking advantage of her height here with that underhook. Keeping Van Buren off balance, getting her body up past her hips. Now Van Buren with the underhook again.
XFC that has been a platform for a lot of very good female fighters, as we mentioned before. Felice Herring in the audience here tonight. Mariana Kayfitz, another one that immediately comes to mind. Have built quite the solid women's division over the years.
Okay, stop.
And referee Gary Copeland decides they need to work a little more, though the knees were getting off their pack.
Yes, they were. Egging doing a much better job in the clinch this time, this round.
Here's the jab from Stephanie Egging.
Good front kick.
Jab 2 from Egging. Bit of the crafty boxing work now from Egging. Straight right hand was a nice one from Egging. They clinch up again.
Van Buren needs to hit the throw right when she locks up or get a takedown here. Get this fight back to the ground.
And here Baszler again calling for the knees, and Egging responds, throws one to the belly button. That one to the lower right rib cage. Those will score on the inside for Egging. So too to the corking knee to the outside thigh, then one to the waist.
Yeah, and Egging doing a great job. See her left arm. She's been controlling the right arm of Van Buren a lot in this round. And then blocking her out with the forearm like she's doing now in the hand.
What does Van Buren need to do, Pat?
Well, she needs to lift her underhook, but more than anything, she needs to start attacking the leg. She's got her against the cage. Try and lock her hands here and get a takedown. There she's digging for it. See if she can lock her hands.
Van Buren looking for a double leg takedown. We've seen her power in this fight already. Tremendously strong young woman.
Triangle started. That's the one she was looking for the whole time the first round. She was waiting for that.
There's a triangle from Egging. Still with 50 seconds to lock on the submission. Is this it? Elbows. The bull fighting, trying to get away out of the triangle. Egging applying pressure.
She looks like she has a little bit of gap now going to the arm bar off the triangle.
Half a minute remains. Can Egging find the submission?
Van Buren doing a good job surviving here. Egging hasn't been able to get that arm all the way across.
Under 20 seconds remains. Survival here for Van Buren. Egging working for the submission. Van Buren out of trouble. The bull survives.
Tough little lady.
And as we go to the towels at the end of the second round, it will most likely be one round apiece going into the third.
Good round for Egging. Evens the score.
And look back here at the action in the second round, this takedown, Pat.
Van Buren doing a good job of getting the takedown, but you can see this is what Stephanie Egging has been setting up the whole time. She's got that wrist control, able to slide that up. Van Buren, though, able to escape the triangle and get off the side and land a couple shots before the end of the round, but not enough to win the round. Again, Egging 10-9 most likely on the judges' scorecards.
Getting a bit of the Yahoo Serious hair happening there. Van Buren. Throwback to an old Aussie icon for you, Pat.
You've been picking on that girl this whole fight. She's going to work you over after she's done with this one.
Yeah, man, if I had hair like that, I'd take it. Third and final round, 1 round apiece. First round going to Van Buren, second to Egging, says Pat Miletich. How are you scoring it wherever you're watching live on Access TV, your home for mixed martial arts? Here we go in the third. High left round followed by a left cross from Van Buren. Egging backs her off with the right. And again. Feints. Good movement here from Van Buren, not allowing Egging to really tag her cleanly with these hands, Pat.
Nice
she
left hand
drills to
there.
the left of her own.
Yeah. And she did a good job so far in the start of this round, throwing that high left leg. Good takedown. Nice level change.
Beautiful takedown. Look at the pass here now. Is Van Buren, and Egging puts her inside the full guard.
Yeah, got to get past at least one leg on Egging so you don't have to deal with that triangle threat anymore. But Van Buren was doing a good job landing that rear leg kick to Van Buren, or to Egging's rear arm, trying to damage her forearm a little bit so she couldn't throw that right hand as well.
Got to pay it to Nick Kalikis for the odds. As I said, the opening line on this one had Van Buren out at +110 and Egging at -150. Closing odds, though, late money on Van Buren at -125, Egging at -115. And you can see why the late money was put on Van Buren.
Yes, and she's in a great position now, half guard. She's much shorter, more compact. That's a great position for that a person of that stature to be in. And working her way to the mount here, Egging could be in trouble.
Looking to get the full mount here is the bull, Brianna Van Buren, and she gets it. Egging throws the legs up.
Trying to get her feet in the armpits of Van Buren to come out the back door, which she is starting to do. Snaking out of there. Looks like she's going for the armbar. Oh,
armbar
missed it.
attempt. Van Buren is Egging in trouble now. Omoplata here.
Nope, she's still trying to get the armbar, trying to pass that leg in front. Couldn't get it, though. And those long arms now of Egging could be very dangerous from the guard.
So Van Buren here in the third with the armbar attempt and the shoulder lock attempt. Got her ahead so far in this round, Pat.
Yeah, I think Van Buren's still winning the round. Nice job coming up to a single. Got to get her hips out. Post her left hand and come up. Well, rolling through, coming out the back door maybe.
What's Egging looking for from here, Pat?
Egging's just trying to basically balance on a Swiss ball because Van Buren's either going to go between the legs or come out to the side to her right side and come up with a single leg. She's trying to figure out what to do. And there she is. She's got the single leg and almost had it. Nice little trip.
Egging takes the back here of Van Buren. 2 minutes remains. A seesawing battle here in the final round.
Egging got what's called an Oklahoma ride. See how she's hooking underneath the shin bone with one and got the leg in on the other. Very awkward for the person on the bottom. It's designed to flatten you out.
Good. Bring your hand over. Tripod. Keep your neck down. Tripod. Tripod. Keep your neck down. There you go.
Got to shake her off.
Ooh, almost landed dangerously on the top of her head there, Van Buren.
Should have just stayed up there, tripoded, and shook her off the top instead of going back down.
Tripod again, all the way out. Pull her head off. Tripod.
Starting to hit a pry.
The tide has turned in Egging's favor after a very solid start to the round from Van Buren, where she had 2 submission attempts.
Should have just based out on top from that mount position and hung out there and landed punches. Use that clock. Let her roll through and go for the submission.
We're into the final minutes of the fight.
Grab the head, tripod.
Baszler shouting for Egging to get the finish with under a minute remaining. Can she sink her choke here, Stephanie Egging. A purple belt in BJJ.
Those long legs are a blessing right now, able to hang out really well and use them. Looking possibly for an armbar, turning her sideways, I don't know.
Van Buren surviving. 20 seconds now on the clock. It looks like it'll be Egging's final round, which will tilt the fight in her favor. A little bit of ground and pound from off the back here of the Bull Van Buren. Nowhere to go for the 19-year-old. Locked in by Stephanie Egging. And there it is. Tremendous contest.
Great showing by Van Buren, though.
Van Buren surprised a lot of people here tonight. 4'11", 19 years old. A tremendous effort. She may not get the nod here, but we will certainly see her back in the XFC cage again, Pat, with a performance like that.
Yeah, she took this thing. I'm sure Egging was sweating quite a bit for more than one reason in this.
Folks, plenty to come on Access TV in the next few weeks. This is what we've got in store for you. The Little 500 is happening tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. Please join us. Then on May 10th, we head up to Edmonton, MFC 37 True Grit. Then May 17, The Voice Versus returns. The most epic episode yet. Yes, you want it, you got it. The Voice Versus Dana White premieres May 17, 10 Eastern. And then the premiere on Access TV of the Championship Fighting Alliance number 10 from Miami, May 24th, 9 Eastern. That's right, Fallon Fox on the card. We await the official decision here. How did you score it, folks? Egging or Van Buren? We had first round Van Buren, second round Egging, third round Egging. Van Buren did a superb job for a woman who gave up 6 inches in reach in the arms. 5.5 in the legs. Let's go up to Cyrus Fees now with the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 hard-fought rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge 1, George Brockmull, scores his fight 30-27. Judge Evans scores the fight 29-28. And Judge Argenbright scores his fight 29-28. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Stephanie Snowflake Egging.
Stephanie Egging takes her record to 3-1. Beautiful boxing skill, but tonight, really, her talent on the ground did come to the fore, particularly in the final round. Great card here tonight, but there is one person in particular who is missing from the venue tonight here in Louisville. It is the president of the XFC, John Prisco. And a quote here from John saying, "I am a fighter. I will continue to fight until I am back at our shows and shaking hands with all of our fans and friends. I'll continue to give 150% towards my recovery and plan on seeing all of you really soon. Thank you so much for the support and God bless all of you." John Prisco is recovering at the moment. He's at home in Florida, recovering from a stroke. We wish him all the very best, and we know that his recovery is going tremendously well. And I told him yesterday, I said, "John, sit back, relax, enjoy the show on Access TV."
Yes, sir.
Coming up, the co-main event is live. Zach Underwood and Davison Ribeiro go to war. XFC 23, Louisville Slugfest on Access TV. We'll be back in a flash.
Striking looks very good, and his ground game looks pretty solid. And that's what I've been training really hard for. I'm just going to use his aggression against him because I'm a very aggressive fighter. So I'm pretty much going to get in his face and fight his way and just go from there.
Eu tento entrar e dar o melhor de mim e entrar para nocautear. E como nocauteador, não escolhe golpe, que entrar e pegar, vai a lona.
I see me hopefully throwing a good nice right hand and putting on his chin and knocking him out. And, you know, or if that doesn't happen, I see it being a 3-round war.
Na verdade, a luta é imprevisível, eu não sei o que o meu adversário vai fazer. Então eu treinei várias situações e estou preparado para fazer aquilo que eu treinei, dependendo da situação. Na verdade, a vitória é importante para mim porque essa luta não é só minha. Se eu vencendo, não vai ser somente eu. Muitas pessoas trabalharam comigo, muitos estão envolvidos nessa luta. Então, não sou só eu vencendo essa vitória. Muita gente depende dessa vitória.
It puts me on a good win streak, and I'll just take it from there. I do it one fight at a time. It's gonna be great with the whole town of Union City, Tennessee watching it, plus my family, my girlfriend will be in the stands, and it shows me that my hard work paid off.
It is Underwood versus Davison Rivero, and according to the fans who are playing along on the Access TV Fight Companion app and voting, here are the percentages of who you think will win. 66% say Davison Rivero gets the nod. 34% say Zach Underwood. I'm just informed that has gone up 68% now. Rivero 32% Underwood. So Rivero will come in the favourite with the bookmakers and with the fans. Let's bring him out. Cyrus Fees.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next fight is the co-main event of the evening in the featherweight division, brought to you by the upcoming XFC 24. Please welcome to the cage, fighting out of the blue corner, Zach Thunderwood Underwood.
Zach Thunderwood Underwood has only been finished once, never been submitted in a 14-fight career. Actually began his career at lightweight. His last win over the very durable Chris Coggins. Before that, the win over Jimmy Van Horn. The loss to Mike Santiago, the win over Matt Traylor, and the loss to Austin Lyons. An extensive 8-week training camp for Underwood. Worked a lot on his striking, his clinch work, on keeping the punches straight, working to get to the clinch, knowing that Davison Rivero can get wild with his striking.
Well, Rivero can get wild with his striking, but he's very technical, also very precise with his striking. Underwood needs to actually turn this kind of into a brawl to pull this victory out.
A man who always comes to fight, a real scrapper, is Zach Underwood. If you've seen him fight before, you'll know to watch out for his right hand. You'll know that if it goes to ground, look out for his guillotine, but it's very rare you'll see Underwood go for a sub. If it goes to ground, he prefers to get top position and strike away. He'll drop those hammer fists any chance he gets.
Welcome to the cage, fighting out of the red corner, Davison the Dragon Ribeiro.
Davison Rivero. Brown belt in BJJ. Let's take a closer look at the man they call Dragon.
As I said before, he's got very good Muay Thai, very quick release on his punches and his kicks. Likes to loop his punches a lot, but he does possess a lot of power, likes to put people away. And when he gets people to the ground, he does a good job submitting them also. Just a well-rounded guy.
The loss last time out to Dakota Cochran. Before that, the wins on the trot. You can see them there. Rivero had a 3-month training camp, 2 sessions a day, working on his wrestling and Muay Thai predominantly. Man who made his pro debut at age 17. Here's how they stack up. Experience goes the way of the Brazilian. He is 5 years the younger, even in height. Slight reach in the arms goes the way of Rivero. In the legs is even. Our experts fight cage for our co-main event. Striking, Zach Underwood. Ground game, Rivero. Speed, strength, and endurance is even. Davison Rivero looking for victory number 24. Has 9 knockouts to his credit. Zach Underwood, something of a journeyman. Let's go up to Cyrus Fees.
Ladies and Ladies and gentlemen, now your co-main event in the featherweight division, brought to you by XFC 24, where XFC returns home to Florida at the USF Sundome in Tampa, Florida. You can find out more at officialxfc.com. Introducing first the fighter on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. He is a striker, standing at 5'9" tall with a weight of 145 pounds. His record, 10 wins and 4 losses. Fighting out of Pincer Athletics of Union City, Tennessee, Zach Underwood. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He is a striker, standing at 5'9" tall with an official weight of 144 pounds. His official record, 23 wins and 8 losses. Fighting out of America Top Team of Coconut Creek, Florida, I give you Davison the Dragon Ribeiro. Your referee, Gary Copeland.
All right, listen up, fighters. You both receive your instructions in the back. Expect you to listen to my commands at all time and have a clean, fair fight. Any questions out of you, Blue? How about you, Red? Let's touch them up, prepare to fight.
A little bit of late money on this one as well for Zach Underwood. He opened up the betting at plus 160, closes at plus 130. Rivero opened up at minus 210, closes at minus 170. Michael Chevello, Pat Miletich with you. XFC 23, the Louisville Slugfest. This our co-main event. Straight up into the face of Rivero early is Zach Underwood. And they clinch up against the cage.
Looking for that takedown, see if we can get it.
Controlling the right wrist here is Underwood, gives up on it now, clinches around the back of Ribeiro, trying to hook Ribero's left leg here back.
Controlled it just long enough to get that body lock. He's going back for it again. Ribeiro trying to keep that elbow in tight to stop that body lock from happening. You can see how he's posting up on his shoulder bicep area.
Nice work of the knees here from Underwood, just corking to the outside left thigh, then the dump of the right thigh of Ribeiro. Showing the Santos in the corner with Karina Dam, and giving instructions here to Davison Rivero. More knees to the outside left thigh from Underwood, staying busy in this clinch up. Overhook on the right arm of Ribeiro.
Not letting him off the cage. Certainly not giving him room to breathe.
Hooks the leg. Ribeiro gets off a right knee. Spins off, transitions to a Muay Thai clinch, spills down to his knees, and Underwood back on his feet. The overhook here from Ribeiro.
Good balance there. Tried to get him off balance, hop the angle, throw the knee, and catch him.
Chambers the knee, telegraphed it though. That one looking to hook around to the back of the leg, maybe connect with that hamstring, sciatic nerve area. And we're on the ground.
Finally got it to work.
Underwood inside the guard of Davison Rivero. Where does Underwood go from here, Pat?
Well, I think he's got to get his head in the center, number one, and control the biceps, stay in tight, throw short shots, elbows, things like that. Trying to loosen Rivero up.
Rivero closing down the right arm of Underwood. As I said earlier, Underwood likes to posture up, likes to work the hammer fist strikes. No chance to do so at the moment.
Can't leave your head on the side like that.
Ribeiro trying for a first round sub. Guillotine choke here from Davison Ribeiro.
Doing a good job of stretching him.
Resets it.
Yep.
It's in deep here for Ribeiro. Underwood, can he get the head out? Hounds away to the body, still there, Zach Underwood. Ribeiro may reset once more. Underwood looked like he was almost about to pop his head out, now it's deep again.
Well, he did initially a good job of getting his right arm free there, and he got out.
Heads out for Zach Underwood.
Yeah, he got his right arm free and was able to push down on that wrist and eventually get his head out.
Head almost went back in, Pat.
Yeah. Well, that's why you don't put your head on the side. You end up in those sort of positions.
Comments from the super coach, Pat Miletich, here cage side, XFC 23, Louisville Slugfest.
Then he puts his head back on the other side. Got to keep his head in the center.
Submission attempts early here from Ribeiro. Taking that head into the chest now is Underwood.
Yeah, and there's a constant balance battle going on, and control battle, because Ribeiro's trying to stand up a lot, moving a lot, and Underwood's just trying to keep him there and land some shots. So a lot more going on than what meets the eye.
Underwood desperately wants to let go with that right hand. Ribeiro not giving him the opportunity. Underwood looks to pass now on the right side of the body. Goes to half guard.
And that's a risky run when you go to half guard on the guy that's trying to stand up. It actually makes it a little easier. See how he's sitting on that foot. He's got to keep that foot, keep pressure on it.
.45 seconds on the clock here in the first round. Ribeiro looking for a way back to his feet and finds it. Chance to work the knees and throws one off the right. Overhook on the left arm here on Zach Underwood.
Underwood doing a good job. It's not a pretty fight, but he's being effective.
Muay Thai clinch from Ribeiro. No. Underwood scoots downstairs, locks the hands up, double leg here. Ribeiro goes to the right, puts him on his back. There's Underwood, looks to pass and goes to half guard.
Only mistake made there was maybe taking him to the center of the cage so he can't wall walk up the cage again. But good job of locking the hands and getting the takedown.
Final 10 seconds. And this is how the first round ends. Our co-main events here at XFC 23, the Louisville Slugfest live on Access TV. Hope you're enjoying it, folks. Don't forget, follow us on Twitter at Access TV Fights. And while you're there, at Chevello Voice, at Pat Miletich.
Hey, you know, like he's getting guillotine, not posturing. Hey, remember, keep your hands when you're postured. All you gotta do is stay postured, avoid the triangle.
Okay, Pat, let's play super coach. First of all, if you're in the corner of Zach Underwood, what are you telling him to do?
Keep doing what you're doing. It's not pretty, as I said before, but stay tight. Don't let him get crazy with his strikes. Keep him against the cage. Look for those takedowns and grind on him. Pull out the victory. You win any way you can, and that's his road to victory in this one.
And Pat, if you get yourself a really cool accent and you go over in Ribeiro's corner, what are you telling him?
I'm not going to put an accent on it. Just keep your damn back off the cage. Keep your distance and use your striking.
Gary Copeland to get us underway in the second round. Zemberson Ribeiro, the favorite, the underdog, Zach Underwood.
Now, we got to get this fight rolling. Get over there. Get over your corner. Get over your corner. Round two, you ready? Round two, you ready? Fight.
Underwood from Union City. Ribeiro tries to get his hands off, looping lefts and rights, and flicking a high right round that turned into a front. Underwood gives his back this explosive start from Devison Ribeiro. Underwood rolls over, tries to put Ribeiro into a guillotine choke here.
Looking for it, but Ribeiro now in position. Got the half guard, neck is saved.
What a start in the opening 30 seconds of the second round of 3.
Yeah, Ribeiro was doing a good job flurrying on him there. Got the underhook now, bad position for Underwood.
Ribeiro having the back here, hooks in, there's a cut. It looks like under the left eye of Underwood.
Yeah, generally not a good idea to turn your back to a Brazilian.
Inside the guard. There's the hammer fist strikes from Underwood.
Ribeiro pushing that arm across. He'd like to go for that arm bar. Just can't seem to get the angle. See how he's pushing that arm across? Or stuff it for the triangle. Let's see what he does here.
Being cut over the eye. Came from the kick earlier,
skimming.
we believe.
Toenail, trim those toenails.
Ribeiro opening up quite a nice cut. Takes the back now, does Underwood.
Don't want to get too big of a hurry here. He's also got the Oklahoma ride going.
Tenacious fight from Zach Underwood, giving up experience. 14 fights to his credit, 31 to Davison Ribeiro.
Beautiful job by Ribeiro there. Got wrist control and spun him right off the top.
Just a constant stream of instruction in Portuguese coming from the mouth of Karina Dam in the corner of Davison Ribeiro.
I think it'd be odd to have my wife screaming at me while I was fighting.
There she is, Karina Dam. She will be cornering her husband in the main event, Luis Santos. Terrific fighter in her own right too, Karina Dam, and a hell of a nice woman.
It's like, yes, honey, I'll go for the armbar and I'll do the dishes when I get home.
I always thought, Pat, that her nickname should have been Hot. So it would have been Hot Damn.
Oh, nice. I don't think they're familiar with that term in Brazil, though.
No.
Both guys doing a good job of reversing each other's positions, getting the other one off their back.
Over under here from Underwood. Controlling the wrist now. Little short popping knee off the left. Negates the knee off the right. Much slower second round this one after an explosive start to the round. The opening 20-25 seconds, particularly from Davison Ribeiro, something to behold. Hasn't quite had that pace behind it since.
Yeah, he's definitely not able to fight his style of fight with Underwood. If Underwood can keep this position and keep punching, this could win him this round. It's been very even up till now.
Ribeiro. There's a 30 seconds remaining in the second of three. Looking to pass, but Ribeiro just blocks the attempt there.
Yeah, he's not really pushing down on the leg when he goes to step over, so Ribeiro can feel it, stop it, just lift his leg up.
Getting some shots off to the body is Underwood. No real starch behind them, however, still inside the guard here of Ribeiro, probably where he'll stay for the remainder of the round.
Burning the clock.
And indeed, 2 down, 1 remaining. Not quite a barn burner, but an intriguing contest all the same. We're going to show you where indeed he got cut here.
We believe it was the front kick. There it is, skimming up. Boy, it just looks like it barely even grazed him,
Let's have another look here. Wow, very quick flick of the toenail and maybe going up there from Ribeiro.
I've actually seen people get their head sliced wide open with toenails where they had to get 15, 20 stitches. Pretty nasty. Little info for the girls out there. Wearing open-toed shoes if they need to kick anybody.
Both men looking relatively relaxed in their corners. There's a guy behind Underwood going absolutely off his nana, about to burst a blood vessel. Someone in the audience barking instructions at Underwood.
That might be Dad.
I think if we threw an egg on his head, we could cook it, Pat. He looks very heated.
Scoot over. Third, final round. You ready, Blue?
Third and final round here. Gary Copeland, beautiful little ball of muscle that he is, gets us underway.
Ribeiro needs to hurt him now. Get off to a fat start.
Double leg early, slaps it on, switches to a single, does Underwood, back to a double.
Shot right into that knee. That knee hit him in the left pec or sternum. Sounded like it collapsed something.
We saw a super aggressive start to the second round from Ribeiro. We're getting one here from Underwood in the third. Hunting for that takedown again is Underwood. Not coming for him here, however. Throws a knee to the outside left thigh. There's one to the right thigh of Ribeiro. Pat, how have you scored it after 2?
I believe Underwood's won both rounds, hasn't he, my friend?
I would have to agree with you. 2 rounds to Underwood, the underdog.
Big mistake by Ribeiro, I think, there. He tried to roll. You can actually roll to an omoplata off that single leg defense, which I think he might have been doing, or just to go to guard, which was a mistake with Underwood on top of him here in half guard. See if he can wall walk and get back up, get back in this round here in this fight.
If for nothing else, Pat, Zach Underwood just wins this contest tonight for the very best. Ring name, Thunderwood.
Thunderwood.
I love it. Sounds like a new DC comic superhero, Thunderwood. His weapon, the hammer fist strikes. Trying to posture up here. From inside a half guard is Thunderwood.
Doing a good job, staying tight, landing those elbows, little short chopping punches. You can see that right arm of Ribeiro trying to get half guard stuff going. But Underwood's digging those hips in tight, staying low.
Pat, what does Ribeiro need to do? We do have him down 2 rounds to 0. What does he have to do here in the 3rd?
Well, he needs to go to just simply wall walk and get his rear end up. Nice reversal there possibly. Now he needs to get up. He needs to get clean, get free, and start using his strikes.
You've got to give it up to Underwood. He looked so fatigued yesterday at the weigh-ins. Really struggled to make the weight for this one, and tonight he's come out looking like an absolute gun.
Yeah, rehydrated quite well. Ribeiro hunting the knee bar here, trying to get that foot out of there. Underwood knows what's going on. Figure 4 in his leg, trying to protect it. No heel hook now. Got the leg bent.
Working for the submission here, Ribeiro. 2 minutes remaining, 3rd and final round.
Good idea on leg locks is always work your way back to their head and sprawl, basically, just like you'd sprawl in a takedown. Drive your hips into them. Nice job.
Look at this top position for Underwood. Chance to land the right hands here.
Ribeiro used a lot of energy trying to get that knee bar.
Right hand is free for Underwood. Just can't get that clean shot he wants. So it goes to the upper rib cage instead. There's the right hand. Ribeiro almost gave his back. Knee. Good work. Saw the opening, did Underwood.
Ribeiro's just not using his forearms and his elbows to block out Underwood and create space. Just not doing that well enough. You can see how he's draping his arms over Underwood, you know, looking for a key lock here, maybe roll him through, something like that, but you got to create space so you can move your hips and get up.
Zach Underwood is about 55 seconds away from pulling off an upset here. The man who came in the underdog is serving it up to the favorite here in the final round. Chops the elbows. One almost to the kidney.
Doing a good job so far protecting that arm, keeping that hand between his own leg. Just you grab the inside of your own thigh, and they have to pull against your entire body weight. So he's doing a good job of that. Shut it down.
Elbows again, trying to lop off the top lip of Ribeiro. 20 seconds remains. Ribeiro's thrown up nothing. Nothing at all. Underwood is just set in half guard, teed off on him. I believe Thunderwood's going to get an upset here.
I concur, my friend. Great performance on his part, fought smart. Like I say, not overly exciting, but very smart fight against his opponent and the style he was dealing with.
Take a look at this failed heel hook attempt here.
Yeah, this was after the knee bar and then decided to go to the heel hook. And this is what he does. You throw the leg all the way over and he's trying to get back to his head. It's very important there. with any kind of leg lock. If you can work your way back to your opponent's head, grab a hold of it, sprawl, which he ended up doing, ended up in a good position half guard here, and just stayed tight. Ribeiro not able to block him out, create space to get back up or get him back in guard. And Underwood just hung out there, rode out the clock, and landed some strikes. So, good performance.
How will this one go down? Who did you vote for in our Access TV Fights app? Underwood or Ribeiro? Will it be victory 24 for Ribeiro or number 11 for Thunderwood Underwood? Let's go up to Cyrus Fees and find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 hard-fought rounds, we take it to the scorecards. Judge Evans scores this fight 30-27. Judge Brockmull and Argabright score the fight 29-28. All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. From the blue corner, Zach Thunderwood Underwood.
Underwood has done it. He goes 11-4. He came in the underdog. Solid work from the man they call Thunderwood. Did you vote for him on your Access TV Fight Companion app? If you haven't even downloaded it, what are you doing? Seriously, go download it now. Go right now, do it. Go to your iTunes, download it. It is for free. Play along, vote for who you think will win tonight's main event. At the moment, Pat, it's 59% saying Louisville Santos, 41% saying Shamar Bailey.
I think we need to start playing this thing. I want to win the guitar.
Let's play. Let's do it.
Next week.
Got the app on my phone. Let's go for it.
2 weeks.
2 weeks time. We'll do it at MFC. Folks, make sure you download it. The Access TV Fight Companion app.
Up next, it's main event time. UFC veteran Shamar Bailey and Luis Santos throw down in the Derby City. XFC 23, Louisville Slugfest on Access TV. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Louisville, Kentucky. Extreme Fighting Championship number 23 is alive and happening with one more fight remaining, our main event. And what a night it's been so far here in Louisville with plenty of action. Rightly labeled the Louisville Slugfest. Michael Chevello, Pat Miletich with you. Pat, one fight remaining. The big one, the main event, wrestler versus jiu-jitsu stylist. Both men do have heavy hands. We're talking about Louisville Santos against Shamar Bailey. Santos comes in the favorite with the bookmakers at -290. Bailey comes in at +210. According to the fans on our iTunes app, 59% of you think that Santos comes away with a win tonight. 41% say Shamar Bailey.
Well, the fans were wrong in the last one, but they're usually pretty correct. I think that it's going to be a great fight either way.
We've had some great fights so far here at XF23. Let's take you back through the action. We kicked off with BJ Ferguson against Charlie Stanford. Ferguson came out like a house on fire, pounded out Stanford for the KO victory. Second fight of the night, another explosive one. Julio Gallegos took on John Troyer. Both men sustained punishment, but Gallegos just lightning second round finish. Next fight up, Joey A Real Deal took on Eric Mel. Handed Mel his first defeat. Mel came in 3-0, but Deal sunk the sub. One of the fights of the night, Brianna Van Buren, 19 years old, 4'11", almost upset Stephanie Egging. A real grinding contest between these two on their feet, on the ground, and Egging got the nod. Thunderwood, Zach Underwood with the upset over Divison Ribeiro, the Brazilian. Underwood came in the underdog, +160, Ribeiro -210, but it was Underwood, particularly with a good third round, who won by decision. Main event time, Bailey versus Santos. As we said earlier, Shamar Bailey, a man who began his mixed martial arts career going 11-1, hasn't had that same consistency for a while now. Goes up against Sapo Santos. Santos hasn't fought the caliber of opponent of Shamar Bailey. So, Pat, let's play Super Coach for a moment. First of all, if you're in the corner of Shamar Bailey, what are you telling him to do?
Well, I'm telling him to use his wrestling enough to confuse Santos. Go out, change levels a lot, land some good heavy shots with the hands, get the takedowns, land a few shots there. Hey, you can make Santos think that he got up on his own every once in a while. But really, overall, you just have to keep him confused. 1 minute he thinks he's wrestling when he's boxing, and vice versa, and that's how he's got to beat this guy.
How does Santos beat Shamar Bailey?
Santos is a heavy-handed guy. Like we said, he's got 29 knockouts, 11 submission victories. The guy is a finisher. He's capable of doing it in any way. If he runs his own game, he's gonna win. He's dangerous.
Okay, folks, it's the one we've been waiting for. Bailey versus Sapo Santos. Let's take a closer look at our main event.
Santos, good head kick, big head kick. Oracle wobble. He is hard looking to finish in the closing seconds of this fight. It's good.
When I hear the name Luis Santos, I think of a Brazilian, well-rounded, both on the feet and on the ground.
Olha, isso não é muito específico assim dizer que eu sou muito forte, muito fraco. Eu tenho um bom plano de jogo. Eu tenho um bom strike, um bom jiu-jitsu, uma boa defesa de queda, boto bem para baixo, então eu me sinto muito confortável dentro do cage e talvez ele vai estar bem confuso comigo.
Tonight, what I have in store for Luis Santos is a high-paced fight. You know, coming off 2 losses, I'm sure he's going to want to try to get off to a fast start, and I'm ready for that. If things don't go his way, then I'm ready to keep that pace sustained until the fight's over with.
É muito difícil dizer aonde a luta vai se desenrolar, mas eu pretendo estar totalmente no meu plano de jogo e para que a luta seja mais rápida possível, para que eu obtenha a vitória mais rápida possível. Amanhã eu pretendo dar mais um show aí para meus fãs, para os fãs do XFC e sair de lá de dentro do cage com uma grande vitória e me credenciar para disputar o cinturão do XFC dos meio-médios.
I'm not going into the cage to prove anything. You know, I've been in this sport for a long time, and at this point, I'm just trying to go in there and get the job done and get my hand raised and move on to the next one.
It is main event time from here in Louisville at XFC number 23. Shamar Bailey versus Luis Sapo Santos. We go up to Cyrus Fees.
Ladies and gentlemen, now 3-5 in a round, your main event of the evening. This one in the XFC welterweight division. Introducing first the fighter fighting out of the blue corner, Shamar the Watchman Bailey.
The man they call the Watchman, Shamar Bailey. And a good camp for this one. Travelled around Chicago to Indiana. Says to look out for a more well-rounded game from him tonight. As Wallace Stovall Jr. supports him in the audience. Shamar fighting for Wallace Jr. here tonight. Superb wrestler, very explosive. He'll need to look out for Luis Santos's leg kicks and head kicks and his jiu-jitsu on the ground. Comes in off back-to-back wins over Gideon Ray and Oldfield. And now some comments from Pat Miletich, the Super Coach.
Well, Shamar Bailey definitely has heavy hands. He is explosive, so he can get it done with that if he sets things up with his takedowns and his level changes. But he has got a great right hook, and he does a good job of covering the distance. See how he loads his hips, comes in with that right hand, and then follows up with the left hand. Whether the right hand lands or not, you want them to see that coming first. Follow up with that vicious left and finish on the ground.
Shamar Bailey, who works part-time for the Indianapolis Fire Department along with teammate Chris Lytle. Good to see him here in the XFC cage.
And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Luis Sapo Santos.
Experience aplenty for Luis Sapo Santos. Sapo translates as frog. Let's take a closer look here at Sapo.
Santos, dangerous striker. The guy's got a ton of knockout victories along with his submissions. Great balance, good hips there. Nice job of shutting down takedowns and has low kicks that'll damage your legs, as you see here. He's just a well-rounded guy, a ton of experience, and used to being on the winning side of things.
The last 5 fights for Sapo Santos, back-to-back losses coming into Ryan Ford and Ben Saunders. The win over Dan Hornbuckle, the win over Nikolai Curie. And the total of the tape for our main event. Experience goes the way of Santos. He is also 3 years the older, has the height advantage, gives up reach though in the arms, has 1 inch in the legs. Our experts fight cage. Striking for Sapo Santos. Ground game goes to Shamar Bailey. Speed even. Strength for the wrestler Bailey. Endurance is even. Sapo Santos, a black belt under the Nogueira brothers. His wife, Karina Dam, in his corner here tonight. Let's go up to Cyrus Fees.
Ladies and gentlemen, now 3 5-minute rounds, your main event of the evening in the XFC welterweight division, brought to you by IC Real-Time Security Solutions, your leading supplier on security cameras for your business or home. Visit ICRealtime.com. Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is sanctioned by the Kentucky Boxing and Wrestling Authority. Your judges tonight, Keith Argabright, Amy Evans, and Sean Brockmall. Louisville, Kentucky. The time for talk is over. It's time to knuckle up and throw down. Introducing first, the fighter on my right. Fighting out of the blue corner. He is a wrestler, standing 5 foot 8 inches tall with an even weight of 170 pounds. His impressive record, 15 wins and 8 losses. Fighting for Sparta Indy of Indianapolis, Indiana. Ladies and gentlemen, Shamar, the Watchman Bailey. And his opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He is a freestyle fighter, standing 6 foot 1 inch tall with an official weight of 170 pounds. His impressive record, 54 wins, 8 losses, and 1 draw. He fights for America Top Team of Coconut Creek, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, Luis Sapo Santos. Your referee, Gary Copeland.
All right, listen up, fighters. You both receive your instructions in the back. Expect you to listen to my commands at all times. Have a clean, fair fight. Any questions out of you, Blue? How about you, Red? Let's touch them up, prepare to fight.
We are set for our main event. Some late money on Shamar Bailey. He opened at plus 210, closes at plus 170. Luis Sapo Santos opened at minus 290, closes at minus 230. Michael Chavallo, Pat Miletich with you, XFC 23 main event. Shamar Bailey comes bouncing out of his corner, takes an inside thigh kick, high right round kick, looks for a takedown, wisely so. But Sapo sprawls out nicely.
Santos very quick with that lead leg kick, and Bailey is hurt.
Beginning of the end here, surely hammer fist strikes, hacking away at the orbital at the top of the head. Look at Sapo Santos raining down the elbows, hammering away, elbows and fists just drilling into the noggin here of a hapless Shamar Bailey.
He's got him cut up big time.
Bailey bleeding everywhere, an absolute mess.
Look at him just throw him down. He's looking for his 41st finish out of his 54.
He's just being assaulted here. He is just being mugged by Sapo Santos. Blood everywhere. Santos looks at the referee and says, stop it. Gary Copeland lets it go on a little longer. Bailey just getting owned, getting hammered, just getting pulverized, shellacked here in the main event.
Do you have any more descriptive words for this?
Yes.
Holy cow.
Good night, Irene.
He's hurt bad. He's hurt bad.
My word. Sapo Santos completely took apart Bailey. It started like this.
Very quick lead leg roundhouse, and then follows up with that hook. Obviously Bailey, knowing he's hurt, trying to get in on the leg. Santos doing a good job of sprawling. Here it is again. Low and then boom, right up high. Bap saw that left hand down. Went for the head kick, get him hurt early and go to work. Bailey, at that point, probably was so hurt he wasn't going to get that takedown anyway. His bearings were off, his balance was screwed up. And that's a note that Santos actually has fought. It's not recorded on his record, but in Brazil, in the Tough Show in Brazil, knocked out his opponent to get in the house. But there was a contract dispute between the UFC and Bellator because of the pay-per-view potential that Santos was looking at. So having the UFC and Bellator battle turns out to be the XFC's benefit.
Bailey still on the ground here. Massive cut, courtesy of that beautiful round kick from Sapo Santos that really was, oh my Lord. You talk about a money box, you could fit a roll of quarters in that cut.
Yeah, that was from one of those elbows that he threw when he got down on, had him down on his side.
It's a gash. Good old-fashioned gash over the eye. Wow, Santos really handed it to him. Okay, Cyrus Fees entered into the history books.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute 2 seconds in the first round, Gary Copeland stops his fight with your winner by TKO due to strikes, Luis Sapo Santos.
We didn't think he'd bring the violence that quickly. Luis Sapo Santos takes the victory by absolute poundage. Gets a peck on the kisser there from his wife, Karina Dam. Also want to say congratulations to David Kurotkin for winning the signed Papa Roach guitar. If you didn't win, you still have 2 more chances, starting with MFC 37 on May 10. Thanks for watching and playing along tonight, folks. David Kurotkin, our winner. What a night here, Pat, at XFC 23. The highlight goes without saying, that violence from Sapo Santos.
Yeah, there were a lot of them, but Santos took the show, definitely. The guy is a true veteran.
One of the best performances, I thought, as well. Brianna Van Buren was excellent against Stephanie Egging, even though she lost. And also Joey Deal putting the first loss on the record of Eric Mel earlier on.
Yeah, good job on his part, and he is better than his record shows.
Julio Gallegos once again gave us an explosive fight, taking care of business against John Troyer. And of course, the upset in our co-main event, Pat, Zach Underwood, the Thunderwood over Ribeiro.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but effective.
Been a fantastic night here in Louisville for XFC 23, where we have missed the presence of our president, John Prisco. We do wish you all the very best, John. I know you've been enjoying the fights live on Access TV, watching from home in Florida. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Folks, you've been watching XFC on Access TV. The executive producer of Access Sports is Daryl Ewalt. Director Jason Vaughan. Our producer Mike Ricci. Director of Live Operations Chris Markwell. Production assistant Jamie McClintock. Technical director Todd Gordon. Audio Mark Zaval. Remote engineering Jordan Schulman and Jason Thomas. Manager of Business Affairs Adam Swift. The CEO of Access Fights is Andrew Simon. From my broadcast partner Pat Miletich, I'm Michael Chavallo saying so long from Louisville.